You are listening to High Heels and High Chairs, voted the best online resource for busy moms who wish to stay strong, sexy, and centered in a world of spit up and sippy cups. Whether you're a new mom, a grandmom, a future mom, or somewhere in between, you'll love these priceless tips, tricks, and tools you will learn today. Here is your host, top female fat loss and hormone specialist, Dr. Michelle Sands.
Hi, and welcome back to High Heels and High Chairs, where we're talking about staying strong, sexy, and centered in a world of spit up and sippy cups. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Sands, and today I'm talking with a wonderful woman. She is really interesting because she not only is really awesome at teaching moms how to be their best self when it comes to health and fitness, but she is also now teaching moms how to find their passion and create a business they love, and all beyond baby. So her website is called Mom Beyond Baby, and Shira Nelson is just a really great role model for moms who not only want to look and feel great, but also to follow their dreams. So Shira, I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's an honor.
I am super excited. So you have two children. You've for a while now been running a really successful health and fitness business, right?
Yes, actually, yes. So I have my daughter will be 3 next month. And I just had my son in August of 2015. So, yes, things are crazy over here, but
yeah, exactly. I know how it is. My son's going to be 1 next month, so Paxton's going to be 1 next month, and we're just learning. Like, he just decided he's not going to eat purees anymore, so he's going to eat everything, pick it up, and put it. So it's like, okay, no, we're not doing this. No, it's constantly changing this time. It's definitely a fun situation. But I just wanted you to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, what got you into the field that you're in, and then how you're transitioning now even in your business to do something that you're even more excited about. So if you can just give us a little bit of background.
Awesome, for sure. So I was a teacher for many years. So I graduated with my master's in early childhood, and I started teaching right out of college just because that's kind of what I was, kind of raised to do. You go to college and you work, and that's just like there was really no thinking out of the box. So that's what I did. I went to college, and I taught kindergarten and first grade and third grade and pre-kindergarten. And so I was a teacher for 10 years. And while teaching, I was always like a group fitness instructor, so I always kind of had that fitness side job, if you will. Because fitness is something that I love and I've always been excited about, and, it's just something it's just like a natural for me. So anyway, in 2013, 2012, when I got pregnant with my daughter, it just kind of struck a chord with me, knowing that I was going to have to leave her, and, the whole maternity leave thing just really didn't sit well with me. I knew that going back to work, so she was born in April, so I knew that even though I was going to have the summer, which is really nice, I knew that come August, I just could not say goodbye to her and put her in daycare. It was something that I just didn't want to do. And so when I was pregnant with her, I started thinking, I need to figure out a way to work from home. I knew that just staying home, not that we just say just staying home, because we know that there's no such thing as just staying home. But I knew I needed like something to do, because I'm not very domestic. I don't like craft or like do anything like that. So I knew like in nap time, what was I going to do? Online shop or whatever. So I knew I kind of needed something to keep my mind busy, because I'm very creative, and that's kind of what I loved about teaching. And so I started to explore options about, how could I work from home, and how could I, make money, and how are people kind of doing this online business thing. So, I talked to my husband about it, and I just started playing around on Blogger. And it's, pretty embarrassing what it looked like before. So I was literally just playing around. I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that people were doing it, and I knew that I needed to kind of hustle down and figure out how to make money from a blog and how to make money doing something I loved, so that I could have, for me, success was not about the money. It wasn't about the financials. It was more about the lifestyle. So it was more about, I needed something that could afford me the ability to stay home and raise my kids, but also have my thing, so my work and feel like I was contributing to my family, but also feel mentally challenged in a way that I was creating and connecting with people. So it was kind of like I needed to find that. And so that's kind of what I set out to do. And so now, ever since then, I built my business. It's very successful now. So I've been able to stay home with both of my kids. And of course, it's a little crazy at times, especially with you right now and juggling schedules and everything. But I just try to, just keep my eyes always focused on what's most important, and that's always my family and my kids. And the reason I do it is for my kids so that I can, not miss a moment and not send them to daycare and whatever. I just want to make sure I'm home with them. And so, it takes me a little bit longer sometimes to do certain things, but that's okay with me because I know, I don't want to be stuck in my office for 8 hours. So,
right.
So yeah, it's kind of a trade-off for me. And it's been amazing. And, hopefully the end of this year, we'll be able to bring my husband home and truly have, what we call a lifestyle design where we're, being able to travel and kind of living off our own schedules, which would be ideal. So.
That's an amazing story. And it's really funny because it's really similar to my story because I was also doing health, fitness, and nutrition on the side, as a hobby while I was working at the job that was paying the bills until I made the decision to go all in. But it's scary, it's really scary because it's not, like you said, it's not what we're taught. We're taught to go to school, get good grades so we can get into a good college and get a good job, right? And, and when we have our hobbies and we have things that we love and we're passionate about and the things that when we go to the bookstore, we go to the book section with our hobby and our passion and we get magazines about that hobby and passion, but then we go to this job that we're not really interested in and we can't wait to get out until we can go do the things that we love. So it's so awesome that you were able to put that together. And I know, for a lot of moms out there listening, they probably – a lot of moms do have to drop their kids off at daycare and go to work, but it may not be a job that they really love. If it is a job that you love, then that is awesome, then that is definitely what you should be doing. If you absolutely love your job, it's you go home and you want to read more about what it is that you do. But for those people who are, not so much loving their job and they do have a passion, how do they start? How can someone start? You said with Blogger. So I know things have kind of changed maybe the way the internet works. Is that something that you would still recommend for people to start with a blog?
Yeah, I do. The way I see it is, finding out, and a lot of times when I work with moms and I ask them what they're passionate about, it's a really hard question because as a mom, this, it's kind of no one really asks us what our opinion is anymore because our life is really about our kids. And if we're working, it's about that too. And it's about the chores. It's about everything else. It's about everyone else. And so that's a really hard question for moms to answer is if I could do anything all day, what would it be? And it wasn't about my kids and it wasn't about work. What really would fulfill me and what would make me excited and what would make me happy? And those are really tough questions for moms to answer. So first is really narrowing down that and what, because the intersection of an online business is it's something the world needs, it's something that you're good at, but it also has to be something that you're truly passionate about, that you truly like. So that's the first step is being really understanding that passion. But yes, I always say, a blog, and it doesn't have to be words. It can be, a video. It can be a blog. It can be anything, but it's a way to get your message out there because truly when we're talking about the kind of business that I run is more of a personality business. So it's more about people connecting with me and then coaching them through, their health and fitness or their business journey. It's not really about, because there's a million programs out there for, fitness and nutrition. I mean, you can Google and you can find millions of free workouts and free nutrition plans and business stuff and all of that. So it's really not about the actual program. It's more about the coach. And so in order to connect with your audience and build that tribe, it's all about letting people in and showing people who you are, being authentic, being transparent. And I found that the number one way to do that is to blog and to show them, give them snapshots into your life and let them see you so that they connect with you. And, they connect with your personality so you're building that tribe. And then from there is when you start offering a product or service or whatever, because you have people who are your fans. They're your raving fans, but it definitely doesn't happen. It's not like an overnight thing, but I have found that's the most, it's just I'm not going to say it's the easiest way, but it's definitely, it's a long-term thing, so I have these people who, they know me, and, it's whatever I offered is what they would do because I'm like their coach, so
right.
So I have found, blogging is a really great way, and a lot of moms already blog, moms love to blog. They like to tell their stories, whether it's about mom life or homemaking or homeschooling or, quick and healthy recipes, whatever. A lot of moms are blogging, and they just don't know how to actually monetize that blog and turn it into an online business.
Yeah, that seems like that would be the hard part. But I think, you really touched on it, perhaps the hardest part is finding out what you're passionate about. Because, like you said, a lot of moms have a hard time figuring that out because we kind of lose our identity in the midst of taking on this new role of mother, and we have all these responsibilities, and everything's about our kids. And you're right. I think a lot of moms do lose sight of their identity and who they are and what they really love because they don't really have time for it, even if they did know what it is. So I think it's kind of that step right there, whether you're starting a business or not, I think is essential to being happy and feeling fulfilled. So I think that that step right there is so important. Do you have any exercises or any techniques that you use to help someone figure that out?
So I do, I offer, in my business coaching, we spend a whole month on, your passion and what lights you up.
Oh.
And it's really just digging deep. I mean, journaling is a really great way to kind of figure that out. Writing, blogging is a great way. It's just really about having the conversation and really sitting and thinking about what really lights you up. So I always use the example of if I met you at a play date, and first we talk about our kids and whatever, what else would we talk about? What would come up in the first 5 minutes of that play date? And so for me, I always, these are my kids, whatever, and I always, somehow my business always comes up. Somehow, being a mom beyond baby and taking care of yourself and whatever, just always seems to come up in my conversations. And so I kind of knew that was my passion, was, helping moms kind of figure this out and take time for themselves and, have this sense of fulfillment outside of, diapers and plates and all that stuff. So it was kind of something I kind of knew that, that was my passion. But, so yeah, that's what I would definitely say. It's just something that you feel, torn to, you feel drawn to, that just things that you can't stop thinking about, little things that are happening in your world or in your friends that you feel connected to and you feel pulled to and drawn to talk to them about that and, kind of offer solutions and things like that.
Awesome. So what are some ways that, let's say someone's really passionate about, let's say, tennis. They really love tennis, but they can't figure out how that would ever make them any kind of money or even be any kind of business. How would someone monetize? What are maybe some top ways, not all the ways, of course, but how would someone monetize it, a blog or a passion of something that doesn't, off the top of their head, seem like it would make money?
Yeah, so, and the cool thing is you can really make money doing anything. So, because what happens is when let's say it's tennis, right? So you start a blog on tennis. And so you're not really writing about tennis. So yes, you're going to tell people about maybe your tips and your tricks and your hacks and whatever, but essentially you're writing about you. And so people are going to get to know you. And so you're going to let people in maybe on your life and maybe your kids, and maybe you're going to give people a sneak peek into your life. And you're going to gather these women, probably moms, and if you're a mom, and they're going to start relating to you because of what you tell them. And so they're going to start reading and kind of, following along because maybe you're inspirational, maybe you're motivational, maybe you're showing them that, how to play tennis. You're giving them tips on becoming better at tennis, whatever it is. But it's not really so much about the actual tennis at that point. It's more about the relationship. So then you might, a few months go down the road and you're posting on social media and you're giving tips on being great at tennis, and you're also giving them, snapshots and like, people just really like you. They're your fans. So then you think, okay, well, I'm going to put together a little ebook or a checklist or whatever it is about, my top 10 tips to be, have a better swing or whatever it is. You give that away for free and people, they get it. Their content, it's all about the content at that point. So they're loving it. They're like, oh, this is awesome. Like, this, it's quick. It's actionable. You're giving them, free content on tennis or whatever. And then, people just start reaching out to you. They want to work with you at some point. So they want to know how to become better. Or maybe it's not even about tennis at that point. Maybe they just want to have a coaching call, and maybe it turns into something else. So it's just really cool to see how a business evolves. So I would always say encourage anyone who's thinking about it to just not focus so much on the product or the service to sell, because that's really not where we go at the beginning. So the foundation is building that tribe and building the relationships and the trust with your people, because people have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you before you can really offer them anything. Because isn't it really a disservice to just throw out a product? I mean, that would just make us like everybody else in the online space. It would just be like a marketing company, which we're not.
Right, it'd be like Amazon, right?
Exactly. And so
Amazon
we can't compete with that. We're not a big corporation. Then our business is our face. And so when we build that relationship, when we build that trust, we build that community, then it's really not about the product or service anymore, because they already know you and like you and trust you. So it's pretty much whatever you offer, they're going to jump on, whether they want to use it or not. It's kind of like, it's almost like a way to pay you back for all of the awesome content and the motivation and whatever you've given them for the month prior.
It's so funny, because like you kind of hypothetically said all that it's exactly how my business got started. It's exactly what happened. I started, just blogging about my life and giving free content, and people did reach out to me and they wanted to buy stuff. It was just really interesting, because like you really know what you're talking about, because it's exactly how it happened.
I do.
The other great thing. The other thing I love about what you said is, if moms are listening, they're there and they're interested in fitness, or they're interested in cooking. Like, they don't have to be the best cook in the world, and they don't have to be the best fitness person in the world. They don't have to be better than all the people who are doing it out there, because they just have to be them, which I love that, because it makes it so accessible for everybody, because everybody knows how to be themselves really well.
Well, and the thing is in the online space, I mean, especially in the online space, there's room for everybody. And so my people might not be your people, and your people might not be your neighbor's people, because it's like a perfect filtering system. So my people are not the people who spend all Sundays meal prepping, because that's just not really what I stand for. And so it's really about, and it's so cool, through the online journey and through your business, you kind of figure out what you stand for. You figure out more about yourself than you probably ever realized. I used to be this like hardcore like diet, hardcore exercise, prep on Sundays, live out of Tupperware kind of girl. And I slowly just evolved as I became a mom and realized there's no time for that. I realized I just came into this moderation space, into this, just move how I feel like I want to move my body. I don't prep anything. I would never eat out of a Tupperware. Like, all of that stuff has kind of evolved with my business. And it's just so neat, because my people have just come with me on that journey. So, of course, the people who started with me, a few years ago when I was like hardcore, meal prep on Sunday, they've probably gone on to find someone else that fits them. But it's a perfect filtering system, because as long as you're authentic and you show up exactly how you are, your people come to you, and then they stay with you. And the same thing happens for the next people who are creating their businesses. So because there's always going to be someone who has better nutrition and whatever. So we're never going to be the best. And anybody can find all of that stuff free. So it's not really about, they're not there for the workouts and the meal plans and whatever, because after they get results, then what? So it's really about you as a coach and your personality, and people are truly just hiring you to teach them and show them the way that works for you and a way that's going to work for them.
I just love the way that just made it so accessible for everybody. That's an awesome tip, and it's just it's really the fundamental of really any business. Like, when you think about who's your real estate agent, who's your hairdresser, like, you can go anywhere for these services, but you like the person you go to, and you go to them because of them. So I think that really, it takes some of the fear out of creating your online brand and creating a business, especially for moms who are new at it. So you have a great resource for the moms listening, and I'd like you to just explain what that is and tell them a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Just actually this past year, I decided to launch Business Beyond Baby, so kind of branch off of Mom Beyond Baby, so it's creating a business beyond baby. And it's a business coaching academy exclusively for moms or moms-to-be. So I have a few moms in there who are getting ready to be a mom, so that's, of course, they're just planning ahead just like I was. And so it's a very intensive business coaching academy where I walk you through pretty much all the steps like we talked about, finding your passion and kind of what to do and how to set up your website and how to set up your email marketing and how to create a lead magnet or, free content, and then what to post on social media, how to blog, and then, of course, how to develop a product or service and how to market it, and pretty much how to build your online business. It's very methodical. It's very step-by-step. You have broken into months, and so each month there's like a to-do list, and there's podcasts to listen to and books to read and fun sheets where, I ask you these tough questions like kind of what we talked about, and I give you cheat sheets of, 10 steps to do for your website and 10 steps to create your product and whatever. Yeah, it's super good. And tons of
because that stuff isn't easy to find. That stuff is not
no,
easy
it's
to
not.
find. Like,
it's so
I wish I would have known about that earlier. I do literally
so overwhelming.
Like the 10 steps. Yeah, I know, right? How to post on social media, like that alone, you can research and research and research. And the thing is, you're going to get 100 different answers from 100 different people.
It's so true. And I bought like 1 million business programs, but the difference between what the Business Beyond Baby and everything out there is that you're in a closed Facebook group with me and the other ladies who I accept into the program. So it's an application process. So it's not just like everybody can join. And I'm with you every single day for the entire length of the program. So it's not just like that. I'm here for an 8-week jump start and then I'm out. And you're actually connecting with me. And then you have the group of other moms who are doing the exact same thing. They're in the same spot as you. And it's a small group, so it's not, hundreds of people where you're like, you can never, you ask a question, never get answered type of a thing. So I pretty much took everything I've done and everything I've learned and kind of made put my own spin on it. And it's super successful. The ladies they're killing it. They're on month 3 already this year. So it's an amazing program. So that will open up the end of this year. So I'm going to open it once a year and open it up for applications and then let people in based on their application and whatnot.
Awesome. And then today you have actually 3 gifts for people listening. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So that is a 12 key essentials to building your online brand. So I took kind of my top 12 essential elements, if you will, to building an online brand. And I made that for you guys over at shiranelson.com/checklist. And that's available for everybody that's listening. So you can download that checklist and kind of at least get started into building an online space if you feel like you're something you want to do. And a lot of moms have been thinking about it, but they're not really sure like where to start or how to get moving on it. So definitely check that out, and that will at least get you started. If you've been dabbling for a while and you want to get your feet wet, head over there and grab that shiranelson.com/checklist.
Sweet, and I'll put that link right next to it. And then if they grab the checklist, then will they get some updates from you to let them know when your next school is starting?
Yes. So once you download that checklist, I'll touch base once a month or something and just kind of just touch base on where you are. Do you know your passion, like where you're thinking about all that stuff, and I'll be happy to review anything that they've done as far as a blog or social media content or any of that stuff, and then I'll definitely give updates on when the coaching academy will.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shira. It really means a lot to have somebody who is a mom and been through it and is health and fitness oriented, so you're not going to stress everybody out beyond belief and expect them to be working from 6 a.m. till midnight. You get it. You get what it takes to be a mom and what it takes to be successful in business. So I love that whole combination, and you don't find that everywhere. So I think that what you're doing is amazing, and the ability to balance everything and to really put your health and wellness first for yourself and your family is huge. So I love that you're setting a great example for moms out there. You can create the life you want. You can create the passion. Thank you so much for this free gift, and I'm really interested in checking out your next go around your academy myself, because I think you could always learn. You could always learn more. So I love hearing different things. So thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate your time and all the great insights that you gave us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Have a great day. And everyone listening, thank you so much for being here as well. I hope that you got a lot of value out of today's interview, and I know I did. So tomorrow we'll be back with more great interviews, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you received a lot of value out of this interview. I know that I did. I want you to open up to the possibility of making this new year the greatest opportunity that you have had so far to improve your life. This is about breaking out of paradigms. It's about learning the art of living. It is about honoring who you are as a woman as you discover who you are as a mother. It is about taking care of your body, mind, and spirit so that you can take better care of your family and be a shining example, a role model for your children so that they can grow up to be healthy, happy, and successful. I promise to continue to bring you educational, empowering, and inspiring content to help you achieve the body that you dream about and the life that you are meant to live. Stay tuned for more value-packed interviews, and be sure to check out all the resources on my website, metabolicmama.com. Until next time, wishing you a happy, healthy, hot day. Take care, mamas.